Star ring theory. The star ring theory is a conspiracy suggesting that every rapper who wears this star ring meets a tragic end. Some examples include King Von, XXXTentacion, PNB Rock, Mo3, Pop Smoke, Tupac, Juice wrld, Young Dolph, and Jay the Youngin. The five-pointed star is one of the earliest religious symbols, originating from pagan belief systems that worshipped nature and the cycles of birth, growth, and death. MAF Teeski's finger. MAF Teeski is an emerging drill rapper from Chicago. If you've seen his videos, you may have noticed that he's missing the index finger on his right hand. In 2018, while on house arrest for 2 gun cases, he was playing NBA 2K when 4 gunshots rang out. Accustomed to hearing gunfire in Chicago, he kept playing until a 5th shot came through his window, hitting his finger. Afterwards, the bone started to grow crooked, and he eventually had to have the rest of the finger amputated 5 years later. Twisty P. Zay Pina was a phenomenal high school athlete, ranking among the top football and baseball players in California and receiving Division I offers for both sports. In college, Zay chose to focus on baseball and was considered a prospect for the 2019 MLB draft. Unfortunately, he was kicked off the team due to his use of lean and Xanax. He then started rapping under the name Twisty P and hanging out with the rap group Slay World, which includes rappers Autumn, Can, Summers, Jace, and Yate. However, he began feuding with Can and Jace and was eventually jumped. Now, Twisty P frequently goes live while on drugs, running around California singing Yate songs and engaging in reckless behavior like crashing his car.
What the fuck are you doing? This guy just hit me, bro, on live. What are you doing? You got that on live, bro. I got that on live. I'm not trying to scare you guys, but like I had it recording just in case.
Not recording, I know, okay?
You guys got that, right? Alright, we need a call. I don't know who we call. Cause I just hit a parked car and you like totally fucked my whip up.
And repeatedly getting beaten up. OVO's dark meaning. Conspiracy theorists have speculated that the owl in Drake's OVO label represents the child-sacrificing god Moloch. They claim Moloch depicted as an owl is worshipped at the Bohemian Grove Resort, where powerful individuals allegedly gather for sacrificial rituals involving children. Bankroll Hayden's car crash. In 2018, 16-year-old California rapper Bankroll Hayden and 2 friends left the studio. On their way home, they were driving fast and under the influence when they crashed into another car, killing both occupants and injuring all 3 people in Hayden's car. Hayden woke up in the hospital on life support, while the driver was sent to jail. During his hospital stay, Hayden wrote the song 29, which went viral and catapulted his career. Destroy Lonely Abuse. On June 24, 2024, Twitter user Aisha Mia posted pictures showing her bleeding and revealed that her cracked skull was caused by her boyfriend, rapper Destroy Lonely, pushing her into a bed frame in Germany because she was tired and didn't want to roll a blunt. She also claimed he choked and slammed her for not wanting to go to a party in Japan and would abuse her for posting pictures of him because he wants to maintain a mysterious persona and doesn't want to lose aura points.
I'm being so 100 never ever in my life. Never in my life. Tell her. Tell her how much you love her and what you just said.
Destroy Lonely has since denied these claims on Twitter. Drake's house shut up. During Drake's feud with Kendrick Lamar, he was also involved in a conflict with the Weeknd and the Weeknd's manager, Cash. Amidst this beef, Cash's Encino mansion was shot up by 3 gunmen, resulting in a security guard being injured. Fans speculated about Drake's involvement because a week later, Drake's mansion in Canada was also targeted, with another security guard suffering a gunshot wound to the arm. Luckily, both security guards survived. Immortal Technique, Bully. Immortal Technique is a rapper and activist best known for his disturbing song, Dance with the Devil. During high school, he was notorious for being a bully, often beating up other kids and throwing them into garbage cans. One of his victims was Lin-Manuel Miranda, who later became the star of the musical Hamilton and contributed to major Disney films like Encanto and Moana. Young Baby shot 35 times. On October 24, 2019, in Trenton, New Jersey, rapper Young Baby left the studio and went to his friend's house. They then walked to a gas station 2 blocks away. While there, Baby was talking to the gas station clerk when he turned around and saw a man pull out a gun with 2 other men running behind him. The clerk was shot and fell to the ground. Baby ran, but was shot multiple times in the back, buttocks, and legs. Despite his injuries, he kept running until he was shot in the foot and fell. 2 of the shooters stood over him and shot him 5 to 6 times in the arm and twice in the face, while the 3rd shooter targeted Baby's friend. The shooters continued to shoot Baby in the chest. They then said, "I told you," before they ran off, laughing. 10 minutes later, the ambulance arrived, and Baby passed out. He was in a coma for 2 weeks and spent 22 days in the hospital before being sent to rehab to walk again. And he was eventually released. X abuse. 4 years after his death, X's estate released a documentary titled Look at Me on March 15, 2022. In the documentary, they interviewed Talissa Lee, the girlfriend of X's producer Cade. Talissa recounted a story where X's girlfriend Geneva laughed at one of Cade's jokes, which upset X. He told Geneva, "When we get to the house, go to the room." Talissa said she could hear someone being hit in the room. Then she heard water running and assumed they were going to take a shower. Suddenly, Talissa heard Geneva's muffled screams. X was putting Geneva's head in the water, then taking it out and putting it back in. Talissa started banging on the door, but didn't want to call the police because Cade had a warrant in Georgia. Later that day, Geneva walked out of the room in a hoodie with bruises all over her body. The documentary also included audio of X admitting to beating Geneva. Baca's weird case. In 2015, Drake's bodyguard and longtime friend Baca Not Nice was arrested for allegedly beating a woman and forcing her into prostitution. He was found guilty of assaulting the 22-year-old woman. The 37-year-old was sentenced to 6 months in jail, but was released because he had already spent 10 months in custody after his 2014 arrest. The prostitution and human trafficking charges were later dropped when the victim moved without informing the police of her whereabouts. And when she was eventually located, she refused to cooperate with authorities. It was later revealed that Baca and the victim had an on-again, off-again relationship for months leading up to the incident. 21 Savage shooting. On his 21st birthday, 21 Savage decided to book a hotel room for a kickback. Without an ID to make the booking, he asked his friend Johnny to help. Savage drove one of his cars, previously used for illegal activities, to pick up Johnny. Upon arriving at Johnny's house, Johnny asked Savage to accompany him somewhere. When they arrived at the location, a man with a gun jumped into the back seat and attempted to rob them while another gunman stood in front of the car. Savage drew his own gun, leading to a standoff with the man in the back seat. The gunman in the back seat shot Johnny in the head. The man in front of the car started shooting and hit Savage in the arm before running away. Savage fired back, hitting the gunman in the back seat. When Savage tried to shoot again, his gun jammed. The gunman shot Savage in the arm, causing him to drop his gun, and they began fighting over the gunman's weapon. During the struggle, Savage was shot in the hand. Savage yelled for Johnny to shoot, unaware that Johnny was already dead. The gunman tried to escape, but collapsed outside the car. Savage attempted to call the police, but couldn't because his phone screen was covered in blood. He got out of the car and realized Johnny was dead because Johnny's foot was on the gas, causing the car to rev without moving. Savage managed to clean his phone screen and called the police. He was taken to the hospital, where he learned he had been shot 6 times. The shooters were caught, but the charges against them were later dropped. Lloyd Banks. Rapper Lloyd Banks was born in New Carrollton, Maryland, but grew up in Queens, New York, where he met 50 Cent and signed with his label, G-Unit. On September 10, 2001, Lloyd was leaving a club in South Jamaica, Queens, when shots were fired, and he was hit twice in the back. He managed to walk to a hospital where doctors informed him that he would have died if he had arrived a few minutes later. The next day, he woke up in the hospital to the September 11th attack, and he witnessed the towers falling. Look at Me cover. For the cover of X's hit single, Look at Me, he used a picture of his 12-year-old friend Kid Pronto with a blunt in his nose, taken from their group chat where they would share funny pictures. While on the run from police, Kid Pronto stayed at X's home for 2 months until the police eventually arrived. X initially told the police that Pronto wasn't there, but eventually convinced him to turn himself in. While in jail, Pronto received the call that X had been killed. After being released, Pronto started rapping but continued to run into trouble. In the spring of 2019, he was arrested in Pompano Beach, Florida, after stabbing another teen, Keith Tatton, multiple times during an argument. Pronto pled guilty and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Upon his release, he will be under house arrest for 2 years, followed by 3 years of probation. Lil Snoop 2K bet. Lil Snoop, an up-and-coming artist from Jonesboro, Louisiana, gained a buzz and signed with Meek Mill's Dream Chasers label. A year later, while at a friend's apartment in Winfield, Louisiana, Snoop and Tony Holden were playing NBA 2K and decided to bet $100 to $300. The story goes that Lil Snoop beat Holden with a buzzer beater, leading Holden to shoot Snoop twice in the chest, killing the 18-year-old. On June 26, 2013, the 36-year-old turned himself in to authorities and was booked into the Winfield City Jail on charges of first-degree murder, armed robbery, and illegal possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Pop Smoke. On February 19, 2020, Hoover Gang member Blockstar and 4 others broke into the Hollywood Hills Airbnb of Brooklyn rapper Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke was in the shower when the 5 men entered. He attempted to fight them off, but one of the intruders pistol whipped him and shot him 3 times in the back. The assailants fled with his diamond-studded Rolex, which they later sold for $2,000. All 5 were eventually caught, but most received lenient sentences due to being minors at the time. After his release, Blockstar did an interview with No Jumper, where he admitted they did not know who Pop Smoke was and had not planned on killing him. G's murder. 22G's and 3 friends were in Miami Beach when they got into a deadly argument. While looking for a parking spot in a parking lot, they accidentally struck a Buick multiple times. This prompted the owner, Edwards Ellis, and his friend Phillips, to confront them. The argument escalated, and someone inside the BMW shot Ellis and Phillips multiple times, killing Phillips and injuring Ellis. They sped away from the scene, crashing into 2 Miami Beach patrol cars. When they couldn't stop the car, 2 officers began shooting at the BMW, killing the driver, Sosama. The 3 passengers were eventually arrested. Initially, the police identified 22G's as the shooter, but prosecutors later found evidence that the driver was the gunman, leading to the charges against 22G's being dropped. This led to rumors that 22G's had snitched on his deceased friend Sosama. Money Sign Suede, up-and-coming Mexican rapper. Money Sign Suede was sentenced to 2 years and 8 months in December 2022 after being caught with a gun. While serving his sentence, the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation reported that Suede was unaccounted for during a nighttime cell check at the correctional training facility. He was later found unresponsive in the shower with stab wounds to his neck. Staff attempted to revive him, but he died at the prison medical facility. His girlfriend later posted a letter from Suede that said he didn't know if he was good with his people. There were rumors that his gang was upset with him for not following orders, because he didn't want to extend his jail time. Although it's a possibility, it is currently unknown who killed Money Sign Suede. Von Off 1700. Von Off 1700, a rapper from the west side of Chicago, gained millions of views on his songs, Ops on Deck and Free Brick Freestyle, in 2024 after less than a year of rapping. On July 26, 2023, a camera at a Shell gas station recorded 3 men getting out of an all-black Dodge Durango and shooting 31-year-old Aton Benoit. A year later, fans discovered this footage and speculated that Vaughn was one of the shooters, noting the resemblance of one of the men to Vaughn and finding a picture of him wearing the same outfit. In his song Flame Out, he raps about catching an op on camera and says, "Caught him trying to get gas bounce out blast." Despite the speculation, Vaughn is currently free. Foolio's birthday party. Foolio, a rapper from Jacksonville, Florida, known for his highly disrespectful diss tracks, has been a frequent topic on our channel. Just 2 days after his 26th birthday on June 23, 2024, he announced on his Instagram story that he was hosting a pool party at 6 p.m. and invited followers to DM him for the address. A few hours later, he posted another story showing the Airbnb and tagged Tampa, Florida. The police eventually arrived and kicked them out. Foolio then shared a final story showing their move to a hotel. At around 4:40 a.m., the police received a call about a shooting in a Holiday Inn parking lot, where they found 2 cars riddled with bullet holes. 4 people were injured, and 1 person was killed. It was later revealed that the person killed was Foolio. Following his death, someone with access to his Instagram account has been posting and commenting about voodoo, claiming that Foolio will be resurrected. Marathon continues. Nipsey Hussle was a Grammy-nominated rapper, activist, and entrepreneur from Los Angeles. He consistently gave back to Crenshaw, the neighborhood where he grew up. Despite his community efforts, he was also a member of the Rolling 60s Crips. On March 31, 2019, Nipsey was outside his store, the Marathon, when he encountered Eric Holder, another member of the Rolling 60s, who faced allegations of being a snitch. Witnesses reported that Nipsey calmly told Eric that he had heard there were papers on him and advised him to take care of it. Offended by the comment, Eric returned 10 minutes later and shot Nipsey 10 times, also injuring 2 others, before kicking Nipsey in the head and fleeing the scene. Eric Holder was arrested less than 36 hours later and later sentenced to 60 years in prison. While incarcerated, he was attacked with a razor. In the wake of Nipsey's death, several gangs called for peace treaties out of respect for him. Pookie Loc. On April 13, 2005, Gucci Mane and Jeezy released the song Icy. The track became their breakout hit, leading to disputes over who would include it on their album. The tension escalated as Gucci and Jeezy exchanged disses in their songs. On May 10, 2005, while visiting a female friend in Decatur, Georgia, 5 men with guns broke into the home. A shootout ensued, resulting in Gucci killing 27-year-old Pookie Loc, while the other 4 attackers fled. Pookie's body was later found buried in the woods behind Columbia Middle School. On May 19th, Gucci turned himself in, admitting to the shooting in self-defense. The charges were eventually dropped after the condo owner, who was outside trimming hedges, corroborated Gucci's claims. Lil Rodney. Lil Rodney, also known as Baby Savage and 30 Shots, was a 12-year-old rapper from Fort Worth. At 11, he was arrested for arson but was released on probation due to his age. He later cut off his ankle monitor and, while on the run, shot a 1-year-old baby and posted pictures with guns. Once caught, he was sentenced to 7 years in juvenile detention. Rodney served 3 years and was released. Tay Savage Get Back. On May 14, 2010, Chicago rapper Tay Savage survived a shooting. The next day, his best friend Anthony Welch was fatally shot by a male shooter and female driver, allegedly members of the 757 gang, Neef and Sess. On February 5, 2011, Sess and her sister were leaving one club and heading to another. Tay allegedly followed them. After finding a parking spot, they exited the vehicle and Sess was shot twice. Tay reportedly stood over her, uttering, "I told you," as he fired multiple shots. He then targeted Sess's sister before fleeing the scene. Although Tay was identified as the main suspect, insufficient evidence kept him free. 2 months later, while Neef was stopped at a traffic light, Tay allegedly hopped out of a car in front and opened fire. Neef attempted to escape by reversing but crashed. Police found Neef in critical condition and pronounced him dead at the hospital. Tay was later arrested and charged with 2 counts of attempted murder, but he ultimately beat those charges and served 18 months for unlawful firearm use. Lil Fatz Robbery. Lil Fatz is a rapper associated with the gang set 800 in Chicago. He gained attention for his viral videos where he confronted ops, dissing their dead friends to their face and often recording himself evading police.
Say fuck pyro, nigga, fuck Tuka, nigga. Nigga, fuck Tuka, nigga. Nigga, fuck Tuka, nigga. Say fuck pyro, nigga. Come on, man, what's up? Say fuck pyro. Come on, man, say fuck Tuka.
On November 15, 2021, Fatz, along with rappers Lil Twan, Dewey 4, and Spook, met to plan an ATM heist. They later drove to a Bank of America where they spotted guards loading money from an armored truck into ATMs. During the attempt, Lil Twan struggled to grab money from a container, prompting Fatz to open fire on the guards, fatally shooting LaShonda Harts and injuring another guard. Failing to secure the money, they fled to a Boost Mobile store 12 minutes away, stealing a bag of phones. After regrouping, they allegedly turned on Dewey and Spook, resulting in their deaths. Dewey was reportedly Fatz's cousin. A SWAT team was deployed, leading to their arrest with several firearms seized. They faced charges including murder, attempted murder, and robbery, awaiting sentencing amid speculation about Fatz possibly cooperating with authorities, sparking rumors on the Chirocology subreddit. Bloodhound Lil Jeff. Bloodhound Lil Jeff was an up-and-coming rapper from Chicago who gained rapid notoriety due to rumors that he had killed at least 10 people. He fueled these rumors by claiming it's 11 during an Instagram live, and would often reference the alleged murders in his music. However, on June 8, 2024, Lil Jeff lost his life. Camera footage later revealed that Jeff and several others were attempting a drill when the targeted group returned fire, resulting in Jeff being shot 15 times and killed. After his death, sets all over Chicago began to diss him on social media. Sidhu Moosewala. Sidhu Moosewala was a Punjabi musician best known for his rap music. He quickly became one of the biggest Punjabi rappers, with many considering him the greatest of all time. Sidhu was also notorious for his feuds with other artists, often threatening them and rapping about guns in his music. He was later charged with promoting violence and firearms, but he wasn't arrested until he posted a video of himself shooting an AK-47 and a 9mm pistol at a police firing range. Upon his release, Sidhu was featured on the song Bambiha Bole, a diss track against the Bambiha gang. He then ventured into politics, joining the Congress Party and finishing in second place in his election bid. Tragically, Sidhu met an untimely end when a new law revoked his security team to prevent special treatment. While on his way to visit his aunt in a nearby village, he was swarmed by fans, one of whom was a rival gang member. This fake fan called in shooters, and 6 attackers armed with automatic weapons ambushed Sidhu's car. He attempted to shoot back, but was overpowered. Sidhu Moosewala lost his life at the age of 28. Honeycomb Brazy's grandparents. Honeycomb Brazy is a rapper from Mobile, Alabama, most known for his frequent run-ins with the law. He has a notorious past, including the killing of his friend Stank, being shot 8 times, and repeatedly going in and out of jail. On February 17, 2021, a group of assailants attacked his grandparents' house, firing over 100 shots. One of the bullets hit an oxygen tank, causing an explosion and setting the house on fire. Brazy's grandfather was killed in the shooting, and his grandmother died from the fire, according to autopsy reports. 4 people were charged in connection with the incident after wiretaps implicated them. It was discovered that the shooting was orchestrated by another rapper, YSD Cap, who filmed the video for his diss track Not Brazy in front of the house before the attack. Pressa kidnapping. Pressa is a rapper from Toronto affiliated with Drake. After his father was sentenced to 15 years to life in prison, Pressa became involved in the streets and joined a gang called the Young Buck Killers, YBK. In 2016, a rival gang attempted to crash a YBK party, leading to a fight that escalated into 10 shots being fired. Though no one was hit, YBK wanted revenge and targeted the 2 teens who had revealed the party's location. They were able to locate them. The teens were tied to a chair, beaten, forced to play Russian roulette, and performed sexual acts on each other on camera. They then called the victims' families and demanded ransom that was eventually paid. The victims refused to cooperate with the police, but there was still enough evidence to make arrests. Pressa was arrested, and his lawyer was able to convince the judge that his role in the kidnapping was minimal, securing his release on bail. Pressa then focused on his music career, gaining enough buzz to open for Drake's tour. In December 2017, he was cleared of all charges. Guero 10K. On September 25, 2019, Houston rappers Guero 10K and Cash Out Ace were arguing on the phone when Ace told Guero that he was in a Dodge Charger. Later that same night, Guero spotted a purple Charger and opened fire, killing an elderly man and woman. On December 27, 2019, Ace sent out the location to his music video shoot. While filming, the video shots rang out, and 9 people ranging from ages 17 to 22 were shot, and 2 of them died from their injuries. The cameraman was one of the people killed. Cash Out Ace was one of the people shot who survived. He was hit in the head and had to get a piece of his skull removed. Multiple witnesses, including Ace's brother, told police that Ace had issues with the 10K gang. Guero and other 10K members were arrested for both of these murders. T Slick. Rapper T Slick, a childhood friend of Chief Keef, was best known for protecting Chief Keef outside of a club and being sentenced to 10 years for aggravated discharge of a firearm. In 2023, he was released and did a few interviews before being shot and killed on May 3, 2024, outside a house party in Peoria, Illinois. The identity of T Slick's killer remains unknown. Lil Scoom Backdoor. A month after his friend Bloodhound Lil Jeff was killed, rapper Lil Scoom went to a girl's house to get his hair done when he was shot and killed. It was allegedly a setup by a girl named Nene Brooks. Alleged messages with Nene were leaked, where she admitted to setting him up and asked for money for an Uber to the airport. She later posted a picture of an airplane window with the caption, "A New Life." The killer remains unknown, and she has yet to be arrested in connection to the crime.
Oh, mommy? I told you I don't have no key. I take it off the camera. I don't have no key. Like, did you slow?
I'm like, I'm good ass, but it's easy to kind of trap.
Yeah.
You go, boom.
Why y'all ain't just come with that?
Is the back door open?
No.
What you mean, why we ain't come to the back?
Oh.